Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you very much for joining us for today's session on basic finance for in-house lawyers, Sterling Miller. My name is Nankunda Katangaza. I am a co-founder of ACGC. For those of you that we haven't met or haven't met me, I'm really delighted to be welcoming all of you to today's webinar. This topic is one that comes up again and again and is probably in our top 5, always in our top 5 training wish lists on our member surveys and feedback forms from events. So we're, as always, grateful for Sterling insights, information, and advice, and giving his time again to us at ACGC.
I guess, equation for business finance. And that rests with something called accrual accounting. And what this means is the other way you would account for the finances of a business other than cash is through accrual. And what the cash basis is, most small companies use a cash basis. Law firms, for some reason, have historically used a cash basis. If you are publicly traded, you have to use accrual. If it's cash, you're just saying, well, I got cash in June, I paid a bill in September, and whenever those events happen, that's when you record the transaction. On the accrual method, what they're really trying to do is match up expenses and revenue in the same time period. So when you have an expense and you have revenue, you're going to try to tie those together, even if the money did not come in, even if the money did not go out. And that's kind of hard to get your head around because what this means is that the recognition of revenue or the recognition of an expense may or may not mean there is money in the door. But it's a way of better understanding the health of the company. So what we're trying to do with this match is part of something that's called double entry accounting. You have to think of it like for every action, there's a reaction. And this was developed 500 years ago, I think in Italy, bankers in Italy, where they said, well, if we do it this way, it's a better viewpoint of how the company's doing financially if we look at it with these double entries. And we'll talk a little bit about that here in just a second, what that actually means. But you need to understand that most companies, and I suspect most of the companies that you work for, are probably using the accrual method.